Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Shelf Porn, the series where I look at a random book from my collection and we pretty much explore it and see what I know and don't know and what I can pick up on. I don't know anything about this book. It's called cimoc or cimoc. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. It's a comic spelled backwards, pretty clever. This cover is by Luis Royo. It's really nice fantasy piece. Oh, this was sent to me by another Luis, Luis Roldan Torquemada. I'm not sure if he's related to the infamous Spanish Inquisitor. This book is Spanish. But hey, let's just ask him. Luis, if you're out there, what's the deal? Alright, the magazine starts with a bang. This is Carlos Tria. You may know him from such books as Cyber 6 and Borderline. The artist passed away in 2011, so this is what we've got for now. I have a collection called Video Noir as well by him. It's some Argentinian comics. Some really good stuff. Which reminds me of Eduardo Risso in that his work is kind of fluid here. Well, that panel reminds me of Alex Toth almost, because it's a bit of cartooniness. But it really flows really well. Here's more that reminds me of Toth. Some of the drag strip comics that he did. Pretty good. Notice that the action in most comics happens left to right, whereas here it goes right to left, which kind of throws the page composition off a bit, but it doesn't bother me here, or on the next page even. I think this would be an editorial no-no. She's walking in the wrong direction for the storytelling. And once again, it really makes sense. I'm not distracted. Not enough is happening in the next panel to really affect that. I guess when you've got it, you've got it. This is really a master storyteller at work here. Like, look at that knife. It really adds an element of danger to this story. Alright, then we begin a story called Morgan. The artist I'm not at all familiar with, but he really does a great job here. He really photo references Humphrey Bogart quite a bit. These prison bars kind of remind me of something from Sin City by Frank Miller. Just really great storytelling here. It's a very simple, minimal, but it really works. I really suspect the artist was a fan or he grew up on American comics because look at this action scene. That's a really American punch there. Here we have the confidence it takes to use silhouettes instead of figures and still depict action. It's really brilliant. Crack kills. Alright, next story. I can't even pronounce this artist's name, but I do know him from Bouncer by Jodorowsky. It's B-O-U-C-Q. Don't ask me to pronounce that. And he really adds the detail like we haven't seen before in this magazine. I mean, look at those mice. Everything is very technically sound here, and everything is in its place. I mean, look at that handrail here. It really adds to the lived-in look of this place. I really wish I spoke Spanish. I could read this story because what the hell are they eating? The fucking thing has legs. Oh, what's that? Oh, just a lady eating a steak. No big deal. And that animal turned out to be a horse. Lovely. This is really fucked up, but really cool at the same time. Not something you see every day. Fire! The story was a bit surreal and hard to follow. I'm sure if I really studied the panels, I could figure it out. But here we go. Alright, next we have a strip I have heard of, A Little Ego, by Vittorio Giardino. Now, this strip I've heard of from Googling online. It's a play on Little Nemo, but it usually ends in a sexual misadventure. Really pay attention to the panel borders. They're very whimsical. It reminds me of Windsor McKay, which I believe was the intent, as he was the inventor of Little Nemo. Once again, this is kind of like a Little Nemo, but it's kind of a sex dream. This teapot is going in this chick's mouth in a very unwholesome way. And this page is just ridiculous. Somebody was exposing this girls to the lesbian pollen. Speaking of lesbian pollen, the next story is by Milo Manara, so we know what to expect. Pretty tame so far, and considering there's a naked girl on this page, pretty tame is putting it kind of funny. Remember earlier where I was saying that most of the action happens right to left in a comic, or left to right rather, in a comic? Look at this panel, where all the action is heading towards the left, except her head is tilted to the right. Basically, he finds a way around this storytelling trope. These are really lovely watercolors, really. Really adds a lot of warmth to the pictures. There you go. That just goes to show you that Monero is not all about porn. And then I stop and pause on this ad for Hollywood Vice Squad, starring Ronnie Cox, Frank Gorshin, Leon Isaac Kennedy, Trish Van Devere, and Carrie Fisher, falling on hard times. What a piece of shit. Alright, the last story we have here is, again, Carlos Trio, who is capable of many things, as we saw in the very first story. This page, I noticed, has a lot of panels. I don't know if that was his intent or whether that was editorial intervention, but he really uses a less fluid style on this, in my opinion. And it's just 13 panels on a page. That's quite a bit of information to take in, but it looks really nice. As does this page. It looks really cool. And he really manages to really pull in the details in a really small amount of space. Just a really great page. I mean, look how leaden this page looks. Look at the rain. Without depicting the rain in a traditional way, he's found ways to really represent it in a way you know it's rain. I also really like the way he depicts buildings here. It's a really one-of-a-kind building, which you're not going to see everywhere else, which adds a worldliness to the comic. What I've noticed is the panels are exactly the same height on page after page for some reason. As you can see right here. That's kind of odd. Again, the devil is in the details. Sorry, I'm trying to focus. These are very European ladies here. He's not even European, he's Argentinian. Here we have Silhouettes doing a lot of the talking here as well. It just goes to show you. Good Carlos, boring Carlos, it's all good stuff. The end. Alright, the back cover is an advertisement for postcards of Tintin. Go Tintin! Alright, if you like the channel, like and subscribe. Give a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't mind either way, as long as you react to it. If you have any questions, contact me in the comments, and have a good day.